Well, welcome back. My name is Cassie. I am a personal trainer and owner at Thrive Fitness, and today I am bringing you a full body foam rolling mobility workout. It'll take you about 10 minutes total to complete, so it's kind of like short, sweet, to the point, maybe something to do right before you work out if you're feeling tight and you need to loosen up, or maybe on a rest day where you just need a little mobility work. This video will be perfect for you. All right, you're gonna grab your foam roller, find a mat, and come on down to the floor. Any foam roller will do. The one I'm using is very basic foam roller that I just got online. Any kind of foam roller you've got is great, but we do want one that's 36 inches long. So people often ask me what size. This is 6 inches in diameter, 36 inches long. So if you're looking for a foam roller, you would just look for a 6 by 36. That's how you'll find this one. All right, we are gonna start with our mid-back. So that area from like the bottom of your neck to kind of like about your bra line or just below your shoulder blades. We are going to lay across the roller and start at that area that's just a little below our shoulder blades. Now you have choices here with what you do with your head and your hands. I often like to take my hands behind my head just to give my neck a little bit of support. However, you want to just avoid pushing your chin down to your chest. So if you're putting your hands behind your head, you're going to work on keeping your neck nice and neutral. So you're going to lift your hips and then you're rolling that foam roller from just below your shoulder blades on that spine up to about just below your neck. And so what we'll start with is about 30 to 60 seconds of just rolling on this roller in that spot. What you can do and what I encourage you to do is find a spot that maybe feels a little tight or a little tense, maybe a little bit sore. And if you find that spot, like let's say this is that spot, I'm gonna spend a little extra time just kind of rocking back and forth over that one area that maybe feels like it needs a little extra attention, and then go back to rolling the whole thing. So whenever you are foam rolling, you're looking for that area that feels a little tight, a little sore, and you're gonna give it a little bit of extra work compared to the rest. All right, now that we've got our mid-back loosened up, we are gonna work on our lats. So your lats are actually a big muscle that kind of come down your back, but they start actually at your armpit. So kind of like this piece of muscle, or sometimes I tell people like this piece of meat right here under your armpit, those are your lats. They come all the way down and connect at your lower back. We're gonna work at that lat insertion, which is up toward the armpit, toward the shoulder. This is an area that tends to be really, really tender and tight on most people. So what we're gonna do is come to your side, and your arm is gonna go out at a little bit of an angle. So it's not straight up, maybe 30 degrees or so from where your shoulder is, and then you're aiming kind of that like meaty part of your armpit or just behind your armpit onto the roller. So I'm coming here and I'm just rolling kind of back and forth over that spot. Now the trick to this and finding the right spot is actually kind of letting yourself roll back a little, see how it feels there, maybe roll forward a little, see how it feels there. I promise once you find it, you will know. This is one where people say, I don't feel it, and I say, rock back a little bit, and then right away, you can feel it. So this isn't, we're not going down the whole lat muscle, we're just working at that area right at the top. Again, this will feel a little bit sore, and if you can tolerate it, you're gonna find that sore spot, maybe even just hold on that sore spot, or do a little rocking back and forth, and then release and go the full length again. Flipping over, we're gonna find that lat on the other arm. So again, arm about 30 degrees, going out that way, kind of up and down, and then you're gonna look for, maybe you need to roll back a little bit, forward a little bit, until you find that area where things feel a little tender. Now that our lats are done, we're gonna move to the front side of our shoulders, our pecs and our chest area, mainly again looking at the front side of the shoulder, kind of getting this top area of the chest and pecs rolled out. So lats and pecs are one area. They are both internal rotators, and they both lead to kind of poor shoulder posture. And so getting these loosened up, lats and pecs, will allow those shoulders to sit and rest a little more nicely. You'll feel a little more upright, have some better posture if you work on this regularly. So what we're gonna do is, the roller is going to be on a little bit of an angle, okay? So I'm gonna start with my right shoulder or my right pec, and I'm gonna come forward onto this roller, and the roller is gonna be at the front of my shoulder. Now that it's at the front of my shoulder and it's on this little bit of an angle, I'm just rolling in and rolling back out. Again, just kind of looking for what area feels tender. And if I find that area, I'm just gonna hang out on it. Something else you can do is play with the angle of your arm. So I can raise my arm up more, and I feel a whole lot more when I do that. I can bend the elbow. So taking my arm through different ranges of motion while I just hold on here also gives me a little different tension depending on where I go. So we'll spend about 30 seconds or a minute on this right arm, and then we'll switch. We're gonna move to rolling out the low back now, which is gonna be really similar to the one we started with. We're just working a little lower. So just pay attention to what you feel with this. We never wanna put so much pressure on the back that things hurt or feel painful. So if you know you've got a sore back, just be really gentle when you start with this one. But I'm gonna start the roller just below my waistline. And you can either have elbows on the ground or maybe hands on the ground, kind of depends on what feels right to you. But we're gonna start just rolling that lower part of the spine directly over the roll to start. And then you're gonna move like a little bit to one side or the other. So we've got kind of that meaty part of our back just to the side of the spine. And so you can twist a little bit, work on that one side for a few seconds, and then twist over to that other side, get the other side right on the side of the spine. So you can go right down the middle, one side or the other. I encourage you to kind of feel around. Again, you're gonna feel for what is the most tender, because that's usually what you need to work on the most. And however you can make this work physically for you, whether you're on your elbows, your hands, whatever it is really fine. Everyone kind of finds their own way to make this work for them. All right, we've loosened up our low back. Now we're gonna go to our glutes right away. So you're gonna take a seat right on the foam roller, and we're gonna take one leg and cross that ankle over the opposite knee. So if you've ever done like a figure 4 stretch, that's kind of the position that we're in right now. If for some reason you can't get your leg up there, you can just leave it down and lean to the side instead. But I'm getting into this figure 4 position, stretching my right side. So I'm gonna lean over to my right like butt glute area, and then I'm gonna roll from there. This one can, again, be a really tender one. You tend to get a muscle called your piriformis really well when you're doing this one, and that's an area where a lot of people are tight and sore. So again, once you find that spot, see if you can sit on it, even if it's just for a second or two, and then roll back off. So we're rolling up and down. We can also take ourselves from this position, and we can go side to side, rolling from the kind of the inside to the outside of the glute. Again, you have to feel what's right for you. All right, we're just gonna continue moving down the back side of our legs. So we're gonna go to our hamstrings next. Our hamstrings start kind of at the bottom of our butt, and they actually come all the way down just below the knee. I never really encourage anyone to roll right over the back of the knee, just because there's lots of things back there that we don't want to roll over. So we're going to focus on rolling kind of from the bottom of our glutes to the top of the back of our knee. Now you can do hamstrings at the same time or separately. I'll show you a little bit of both, and then you can do what feels right to you. I have very long legs, so I tend to break my hamstrings into 2 parts, like the top half and bottom half. So usually what I'll do is start at the top half first, my legs just straight out, just rolling up and down, both legs on that roll, and then kind of working side to side. So your hamstrings have multiple muscles. It's not just one muscle, and there's some on the outside, some on the inside of your leg, some right on the back. So by going that side to side, we can kind of just get every angle there. And once I've gotten the top half done, maybe 30, 45 seconds on the top half of those hamstrings, I move that roller a little down and I focus on the bottom half. So right from just above the back of my knee and up. Again, kind of thinking about the same thing, side to side. If you want something a little more intense, you cross one leg over the other and you just work that one leg. So you can always work one leg at a time. This is obviously more intense on the muscles, and it's more work on your arms to keep your hips up and keep yourself moving. Once we're done with those hamstrings, we're just gonna move a little lower to our calves. Again, the calves, I like to break up into two parts, top half, bottom half. But again, if you wanna go all the way up and down, that's up to you. Same thing as the hamstrings. There are muscles that are on the outside and the inside of those calves. So side to side is great. Right down the middle is great. And one angle will give you a little more feeling than the other, and you'll know where you need to spend a little more time. Moving down to the bottom half. This is one again where I can go single leg. This is also strength depending too, because my arms and core have to do a ton of work holding myself up right now. Just rolling out inside to outside. We're gonna flip over and work on the front of our legs now. We're gonna work on our anterior tibialis, which is these muscles right down the front of the legs, front of the like shins that I think often get not as much attention as they should. And then we're gonna work our quads a little bit. So flipping over, there's a little bit of balance to rolling out the anterior tibialis. It's more the outside of your shin, so you don't wanna roll right down the middle, but a little more to the outside. So you're gonna kind of go hands and knees position onto that roll, and you're rolling up and down, but you may need to give one side at a time so you can get more to the outside of there, the outside of the shin versus coming right down the middle. And if you have someone that has like shin splints or you run a lot, this is really a nice way to loosen that up. All right, we're moving up to our quads now. So our quadricep muscles are the front of our thigh. We'll get a little hip flexor too. I'll show you how to do that. But for now, what we're gonna do is start from the top of our knee up to our hips. So you're coming down. This one's almost like doing a plank. So you're coming onto your elbows. Again, you can break up the quads into like top half, bottom half of your thigh. So here I'm starting at the bottom half. And just like my hamstrings and my calves, I'm gonna roll side to side. So I'm gonna get the inside and the outside. When you roll to the outside, you might get a little bit of your IT band too, which tends to be a problem area for some people. Spending 30 to 60 seconds or so rolling out the front of those quads. And then I'm gonna work my way down so that I'm more at the top half. This may be a time where you really do wanna work on one side versus the other. So I can take one leg up and really get to the top half of that thigh, all the way up toward my hip. Here I'm at the front of my hip bone, getting that hip flexor area a little bit. And again, if you kind of play with the position of your feet, like pointing my toes versus pulling them up is gonna make things feel a little different for all of these muscles as well. So 30, 60 seconds one side, then I'll get back to that other side. Maybe all the way up into that hip area a little bit, which tends to be a little tender. All right, we are gonna finish our foam rolling sequence with a little spine settling. I really like to do this, again, to help with posture and just kind of calm everything down after we finish rolling. So the roll is gonna be lengthwise of your body, and this is why you need the 36-inch long roll, so that you can get from your hips all the way to your head, back on the roll, knees will stay bent. You're gonna take your arms out to the side, and This is just called spine settling. So you're just totally relaxing on the roll. And what you'll notice after a few seconds is you'll feel a little scrunch, and you might be able to lengthen your butt down, lengthen your head out, and your spine will lengthen as you just rest on this roll. Spend 30 to 60 seconds here, nice and relaxed, and that will finish up your foam rolling full body sequence. Thank you so much for joining me for this foam rolling series today. I really hope that it helps give you either a warm up for your workout or maybe a way to spend your rest days. And feel free to look through the rest of my YouTube channel. I've got lots of mobility and flexibility exercises on there, which are really, really important for your overall strength and health. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.